Now, this story took place when I was about 16, back in 1996. Me and two of my other buddies, the three of us, we were really into fishing. And in that particular night, we didn't never know. It changed all our life. Now, if you're weak at heart, or if you get scared easily, I'd advise you to turn this off. But if you want to listen to a good story, continue on listening. But be warned, it might change your life as well. Now, me and my two buddies, you got Jacob, tall, handsome guy, a ladies' man. But he was always too shy to talk to the women. Sensible, smart. That's Jacob. And then you got my other friend. He's kind of like the muscle of the group. We call him Buck. And Buck, man, he's always getting into trouble. But you know what? And me, just your average 16-year-old, always just looking out to have fun. And we do love to go fishing. We had so many fishing adventures before we were 18. But this particular night is a story that I'm about to tell you. So here we are again at this lake, Shaver Lake. I've been we've been fishing there up there since we were 13, 14. Ever since we knew about it. 3, 4 years. We'll always go out there. And the thing is, we never really catch that many fish up there, but it was something for us to do, get away from the city. Now this one particular night, we were up there fishing away. Once again, it was a bust. We didn't catch any fish. Got a couple bites here and there, but not that many fish biting that night. No, we never pay attention to the time, typical teenager. Always just worry about the moment, having fun at the moment. We're laughing, telling stories, talking about girls, talking about which teacher suck and which one don't. High school, typical topics. Now, as time went by, we got there in the afternoon. We fish and fish. Like I said, we didn't catch many fish, but we had a lot of fun. Jacob, he's always a sensible one. He started looking at me. Hey guys, we did it again. It's starting to get dark. The sun is setting. We didn't bring any lantern or any flashlight, so I think it's about time to wrap up, don't you think? Here's Buck. What do you think, child? Should we get out here or should we try to load a couple more lines in the lake? Well, that particular day, I've been at work all morning. So I was pretty exhausted. Let's go home. I agreed with them. As we were packing up things, we noticed somebody coming toward us. It was a girl. Now remember, we're about 15, 16 years of age. Barely got my driver license. Maybe for 2 months, 3 months. Not that much. And this little girl, she probably like 14, 15 years old. She came right up to us and asked us if we could give her a ride home. I guess her friend must have left her. Uh, she came up here with him and she explained it to us that they must have left her. They forgot about her. I thought it was kind of odd that you would leave your friends behind, but then again, I've been left behind by my friends before, so I understand. And she was way too young to be by herself. So of course we both, we all agree that, we should take her along. So we told her, yeah, let's go ahead and wait right there. We'll pack up, finish packing up all gears, and we'll go ahead and head home. And as soon as I tell her that we were gonna take her home, you can see her eye light up. She was happy. Looks like she's been wandering this lakes for a while. She didn't have that much clothes on. It was a nice, cool summer night. It was kind of chilly as the sun was set, but it wasn't that too bad. But she had very light clothes on. No shoes. She didn't have any shoes at all. She was barefooted. And it was typical. A lot of people just go swimming and diving into that lake, so I didn't think much of it that she didn't have any shoes on. We pack up our things. Jacob was like, I'll do shotgun. So Jacob sit in the front and Buck hop in the back with the girl. As we started to drive home that night, the road didn't feel the same. I have traveled this road plenty of time, many time, in the last 4 or 5 months to say since I got my license. We'll come here quite a bit. We know the road quite well, but this particular night, the road seems darker, seems almost a purple shade. Now, Buck was in the back with the girl, and Buck is usually the one that's very chattery. He's always have a story to tell. He's always saying things, but it was kind of odd that he was pretty quiet that night. He must be shy. I know he's always shy of girls. Never really had talking when it comes to girls. So I just thought maybe because we have a girl in the car, he was just kind of he was shy. He didn't want to talk much. But and then Jacob turns to the girl and say, "Hey, what's your name?" The girl didn't answer him. Jacob looked into her eye and looked like she wasn't there. Her eyes were hollow, but she was still Jacob straight in the eye as well too. Just didn't say a word. So Jacob thought maybe she was a shy one as well. Now the drive home takes about hour, hour and a half, depending on how fast I want to drive. I didn't want to drive that fast that night because the road just didn't seem right. The road seems kind of different. I started noticing things that I didn't notice before. A couple houses here and there that I never knew that was there. That was kind of odd. But I drove on anyway. And then the girl says she was cold. Like I said, it was a good chilly night, but it wasn't that cold. But I had a jacket. I just bought nice, beautiful leather jacket. Cost me $200. Cost me a whole week of work to pay for this jacket. No, I was gonna deny her I'm not having a jacket. If she's cold, I'm gonna give it to her. So I took it off and I threw it back to Buck. And Buck kind of handed it over to her and put it on her. Later on, Buck didn't tell me this right away, but later on he did tell me that while he was putting on the jacket, his hand brushed her shoulder, and Buck could have sworn that she was cold as ice. But then again, she wasn't wearing that many clothes. She was very light clothes that she had on, real thin t-shirt with a short. The thought Buck probably just thought that since she's wearing such light clothes, her skin must have been pretty cold. So we continue on. Didn't say much. The girl didn't say much. She just kept on staring out the window. The closer we got to town, the more distant she becomes. You can notice her. She is there, but she's not there. The feeling that she's there physically, but when you stare at her, she didn't seem to be there. But you continue on anyway. So I asked her, "Where do you live?" We're pretty close to town now, so go ahead and point the direction where you live, so I can go ahead and head that direction. She pointed me the direction, and I knew exactly where she lived. Me, Buck, and Jacob, we used to go to that area, that part of town, pick up girls. We call them ghetto girls. They love to party and have fun, and we always go over there. We always had a good time also, so I knew exactly where she lived. We drove up to the house. She got out of the car. She thanked us, and she walked toward her house, and then we just left. Didn't think twice. Me, Buck, and Jacob were on the way back home after dropping her off. We're laughing and just talking and says, "Wow, she was pretty cute." We were all trying to call dip on her. We thought it was funny, but none of us had the guts to talk to her during that time, that hour and a half drive home. So we all got home safe. I dropped them off at their house. And I went home, fell asleep. Next day I woke up, tried to grab my jacket. Hey, wait a minute. Where is my jacket? And I remember I gave it to the girl that we took home last night. She never gave it back to me. She must have forgot. But I thought it was a pretty good excuse to go back and say hi to her and talk to her. So I was kind of happy that she didn't give me back my jacket. So I drove right over there early in the morning. I knew exactly what house she was living in. She said she lived with her grandma and grandpa. Uh, Knocked on the door, and this nice old lady, she came out. I asked her, "Where's your daughter at?" Last night I dropped her off here. Uh, she said she was cold, so I gave her my jacket, and she must have forgot to give it back to me. I was wondering if she's home. I'd like to talk to her, please. The old lady looked me in the eye and looked confused. She said, "Son, I don't have a granddaughter. I did once, but she had an accident up there by the lake 2 years ago, and now she rests up there in the hill up there in the cemetery." I didn't believe this lady. She was old. Memories must have been mixed with something else. I said, "No, no, it can't be her. We just dropped her off last night. She was up there by the lake with her friends, and they came back home. I guess they must have forgot her, so they left her up there. And she asked for a ride, and we dropped her off here last night. I wasn't by myself. I was here with two other friends, all three of us, And the elderly lady says, "Well, go up there in the hill, go check it out. You don't believe me, but she's the only granddaughter I would have." Also, maybe it was worth checking it out. So I called Buck and Jacob and asked them, they want to go with me up there to go check up the cemetery, kind of explain the story of what the old lady told me. Buck, usually the brave one, the muscle of the group, hop out at any opportunities to show off his bravery, but this particular time, he said he was good. He didn't feel like exploring or he didn't feel like looking deeper into this situation. He had enough last night, he said. Jacob was like, okay. Jacob wanted picked up Jacob, so we head up there in the hill and start looking around. It was a small cemetery, it was a small community, so it was particularly very big. And from the distance, I noticed a leather jacket. I walked toward him. Right on top of a gravestone, there is my jacket. The young woman passed it 2 years ago. Drowning, they said. To this day, all three of us never really talk about this story. I tell it once in a while, just to give it out there. Makes me feel better to share it to other people. But Buck and Jacob, haven't talked to them for years, so I don't know if they still remember the story or if they do, they tell it, but it did change this particular night.